Let's talk about winning arguments. But here's the secret. It's not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being the smartest. Today, we're going to learn how to spot bad arguments so you can build your own on a rock-solid foundation. Let's get into it.
First up, we've got to tune our ears to a specific frequency, the sound of bad logic. You probably hear it all the time, you just might not know what to call it yet.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Someone's making a point, and this little alarm bell goes off in your head. It just feels off. But when you try to explain why it's wrong, you can't quite put your finger on it. It's super frustrating.
Well, that feeling, it has a name. You're hearing a logical fallacy. And think of it like a secret weapon for your brain. Once you learn how to spot these, I promise you, you will start seeing them absolutely everywhere.
So, what is a logical fallacy, really? The best way to think about it is like finding a bug in a piece of software. On the outside, everything looks fine, but deep inside, there's a flaw in the code that's going to make the whole thing crash. So here's the textbook definition. It's a mistake in reasoning. But the really important part is that it sounds convincing. That's what makes it so sneaky. It's not just someone getting a fact wrong. It's the very structure of their argument that's built to trick you. And this right here is the whole magic trick. On the surface, it sounds totally legit, like a solid, convincing point. But when you pop the hood and actually look at the engine, you realize it's completely flawed. Today, we're going to give you the toolkit to do just that. Okay, so let's get practical. It's time to put together your field guide for spotting these things in the wild. We're going to start with 4 of the most common traps you'll run into. Think of this as your argument traps starter pack. All right, listen to this first example. Notice what's happening here. The argument isn't really about social media, is it? It's a personal attack. This is a classic ad hominem fallacy. It's Latin for to the person, and it's basically a dodge. Instead of dealing with the actual idea, you just attack the person who said it. It's a super common and honestly pretty lazy way to try and win a debate. So here's the big shift you need to make in your own thinking. The flawed way is to attack the person. The correct, much stronger way, you ignore who is speaking and you focus entirely on the evidence they're presenting. That's where the real debate is. Okay, on to our next trap. This one's all about twisting words. Listen to how a really reasonable, small point gets blown up into something totally extreme. This is called a straw man. It's where someone takes your actual argument, ignores it, and instead builds a really weak, fake version of it, like a man made of straw. And then they knock that fake argument down and act like they've won. It's way easier to fight a straw man than a real person, right? Look at how clear the distortion is here. The real argument is nuanced. Some social media can be harmful. The straw man version is this ridiculous extreme take. It should be completely banned. See? They're not even arguing against the real point anymore. Our third fallacy is a real drama queen. It loves to play on our fears. Notice this wild chain of events? It's like one tiny step and suddenly it's total doom and gloom. And that is the slippery slope. This fallacy claims that one small, often harmless action is going to trigger this massive, unstoppable chain reaction that ends in disaster. The biggest problem? They never actually provide any proof that this chain reaction will happen. I mean, just look at how this supposedly unfolds. Each step is presented like it's a sure thing, but they're actually huge, unproven leaps. Is it possible that social media could be a distraction? Of course. But does it automatically mean you'll ruin your entire future? That's a massive claim with zero evidence. All right, our final trap for today. This one relies on good old-fashioned peer pressure. It sounds persuasive because, hey, nobody wants to feel left out. This is the ad populum fallacy, but you probably know it as the bandwagon argument. It works on one simple but totally flawed idea. If a lot of people believe it, then it must be true. But come on, we know popularity doesn't equal correctness. History is just full of popular ideas that were completely and dangerously wrong. So here's how you counter it. Don't fall for what everyone thinks. Demand to see what the evidence says. A powerful argument is built on facts and research, not a popularity contest. Okay, so we've identified these 4 big traps: ad hominem, straw man, slippery slope, ad populum. But so what? Why does knowing this actually matter for you? Let's talk about the real-world stakes here. Look, using these fallacies, even if you don't mean to, it's like trying to build a skyscraper on quicksand.
It makes your argument super weak, it tanks your credibility, and it can lead you and others to make some really bad decisions. Oh, and if you're a student, this stuff can absolutely lower your grade. Your teachers are trained to sniff this out immediately.
But the good news is, now you know how to build stronger arguments. It's actually pretty simple. 1, focus on the evidence, not just gut feelings. 2, be honest about what the other side is saying. Don't build straw men. 3, stay away from those crazy, exaggerated claims. And 4, maybe the most important, check your own work. Slow down and ask yourself, does my conclusion actually make sense based on my evidence?
All right, you have the field guide, you know the traps. Now you're ready to listen to the world with a whole new superpower. So here's your challenge. For the rest of the day, as you're scrolling online, watching the news, or just talking to people, listen. Listen for these fallacies. The world is just buzzing with flawed arguments. But now you have the power to not just hear them, but to know exactly why they're wrong. Go on, give it a try.